would it change at all if you changed your ration instead of a limit feed?
Well, we ration, yes. We don't limit, I guess we ration.
Okay, okay. Alright, so are they the right size for you? A little big, a little small?
I think these are good size for me.
Alright.
About 9 pounds.
About 9 pounds?
Yep.
So if they're a 9-pound life, what do they dress out?
6 to 7.
Right?
Yep.
If you were to change anything about them, what would you change?
The legs on them, they're not very yellow, not very bright.
Right.
I just kind of want to be able to
How many more do you have at home?
We got 60 left, I think, 60.
So how did these 3 make it? The other 60 didn't have to come.
I think they look most alike compared to the other ones anyways. More alike than the other ones did.
Okay. Alright. You have one, like you said, showing the weight. You have one that's just a little smaller with across the breast. One suggestion, easier said than done sometimes, is prior to the show, try to maybe limit how much you're feeding them, because now that kind of off balances them as they're standing here. Now they're a little front heavy because their crops are full. Blue ribbon here just had that one that's just off balance a little bit, but it's just a little difference between the two. So is this yours or is this yours? Alright. Who got first choice? Yeah. Did you get a better one or did you get the better one? You get the better one, but you got the heavier one. So better ones are not as heavy or what?
Well, they're looking better together,
Okay.
and mine don't look as good together, but they are heavy.
Okay. Alright. So there's his weights. What are your weights?
10.1, 10.3, and 9.4.
This is a real good chicken. Yep. Come here. Okay, these two are pretty close. This one is exceptional. Give me your hand. Okay, feel right across the breast here. See how far down that muscle link carries on the heel? Now feel this one. A little bit narrower across that front end. Okay. I don't care how big they are. I'm looking for balance in a pen, but I'm not you. Okay, so you have to do what's going to work for you. You can tell that they're about ready to be done because they don't like to stand. They're also hot. So that doesn't help either. Again, you similar to his, you know, if you hold off the feed just a little bit day of show, that kind of gives him a little nicer appearance, if you will, when you're trying to balance out. But then you guys got a heaviest chicken in the county contest, so you know, they kind of weigh. Do I want to try for that, or we'll balance out? But either way, this one, the best one, also getting a little sore on his hocks and the bottom of his calves. But that's to be said when they get this big. What kind are they? Okay, that's the class you're in. But what breed kind are they? $25 question. Gotta get it right. Come on. I don't know of any called so you gotta have something else. Oh, wrong answer. There is no such thing as I don't know. You gotta guess. White. It's part of their name. What are they? Yeah, you're getting closer. You're both close. Cornish rock. My guess is, unless you invented something new down here in Iowa, is they're a Cornish rock cross. Hence one reason that they're white. Why don't we raise black chickens? Yeah.
They get too hot.
That's one reason. Why not? Why do we raise white broilers? Real simple. You butcher your own, okay? Would you want to pick black feathers or white feathers? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's why. But there are black broilers. They're for the specialty market, not for us normal people. Well, I shouldn't say they're not normal, but you know that's them. Okay, we got 2 blues.
Beautiful.
I really like this one here, except the other 2 don't quite balance out. You know, he's here and they're here. Okay? Whereas over here, he's got 2 that are like this and one's kind of like this. So you guys are kind of fighting. But even if you flip-flopped them, it wouldn't make your pens any better than they are. They're as good as they're going to be for the 6 that you guys have. Okay? What would I do different? Okay, just cosmetic stuff. Feet and legs at this heavy weight, I think, are exceptional, except for that one. But being the biggest one, can explain why. Okay? You guys got any questions? Cool. It's up to you guys. You know, whatever you are doing and works for you, that's what you need to do. Okay? I think you're doing a great job. Keep it up. All right. So, hopefully, and then we'll move to the next camera.
Awesome.
Which is,
Are you sticking with broilers or are you just?
I'm just going table by table to be done so that the
Okay.
chickens
Okay. No problem. Alright,
like it. If you have to, I'd like you to stick around because I don't know who's champion yet, but if you need to move it and something, whatever, to try to follow the shake, just go ahead, okay?
And you guys can go up and get your blue red on the food.
Okay? All right, so let's take a look at it. Come here and talk at me. All right, your chicken, you catch. Okay, just a minute. So, how old are they?
About 3 months old.
Okay, grab me another. What class have you got these in?
Bullets.
All right, go ahead and get the next one. All right, so.
About 20.
Well, let's go. I got to get my hand right between there. Why did you pick these 3 and leave the other 20 at home?
Because they all had more of the same type of feathers, like more pattern, and they also have the same like kind of weight. They kind of all had like big feathers.
So this is in the production pullet class.
Mhm.
How much? How many feathers do you eat? What I'm trying to get at, okay, so don't take this wrong. What I'm trying to get at is to lighten you up. You're a little bit nervous, okay? The other thing is, in production birds, whether they're meat production or egg production, you're looking for that end use, okay? Yes, you want good feathers. Yes, you want good body conformation, but you want them to be good on their reproduction or good on their muscling, okay? Which one of these 3 is the best? It's not a little bit best, it's a lot best.
I'd say
You can pick it out without touching a chicken. You are a lot better than I am.
I'd say that one.
You think this one is? Hang on to her. Got her? You sure? All right. Now, you to show me why you think this hand's better than this one.
I'd say that because the coloration is better and it looks like you can lay more eggs.
Oh, good. So, how could you figure that out without touching them?
By their size and like by their shape.
Okay. Which hen is bigger? Without touching them, you just told me
Say that one.
you do. Why?
Because I just basically subtract the eggs from them.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good. Hang on to her. How close is she to laying eggs? 2 to 3 months. Okay. How close is she to laying eggs?
About the same.
About the same. Okay. Now, let me show you something. Okay. One thing on maturity of pullets, and you said they're about 3 months old?
Yeah.
So that's about 12. They should be laying about 16 to 20 weeks. In your hand. Don't care. You right or left hand?
Right.
Your right hand. Alright. Right here. Feel those 2 sharp things? Feel that?
Yeah.
Which one's bigger?
Mm-hmm.
That one's bigger. Is she a little bigger or a lot bigger?
A lot.
A lot bigger. Okay? She is the one. No, I'm not done with you yet. Okay? You said she's the best of the 3. Okay? And you never touched her. But she is the most mature, largest volume, closest in egg production of these 3 that you have. Now, just because he sits here, I can make this one look pretty big.
Yeah.
And this one not look so big just by moving them.
Yeah.
You physically have to get in and handle them. And you said, okay, I picked these up because they're close in feather. Yes, they are close in their feathering, but we're also looking at size right along their body and the length of their keel and the distance between their end bones. Okay? The one that's in here is very close to this one. So what we have here is you have kind of a, if you will, you have a three-wheel cart. Okay, you have like a tricycle cart. You have one hen up here, and you got your other 2 hens on here. Well, that's not too bad for your cart, unless you're going sideways or something, because they're not quite as balanced as the one you said was the biggest of the 3. But, like you were saying too, the coloring, the overall matching of the feathers across the wings, you did a pretty good job on picking those out. So we'll leave a blue on this pullets here. What do we have over here?
Golden Polish.
What class are they in?
Individual.
This is a family female.
So then you've got 3 individuals. Okay. All right. So same deal. Come over here. First off, how come you got feathers on top of their head and over your foot like that?
Well, their origins was another. I realized it never really gave like a valid thing. I just said I was gonna roll and that's what I thought.
That's just a distinct feature about them, right? It's just like some chickens that have feathers on their feet. It's just one of their characteristics, right? Doesn't mean they're good or bad. It's just one of those unique things. So give me any one of the 3. Doesn't matter. Oh, you two just stay there. Okay, is she a pretty good pullet?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well, first of all, bones.
Yeah.
This and this. And we got them around the same time as Sapphire Gems.
Okay. What about her top hat? Is it pretty well balanced? I would say I like this one better than those in there, but we haven't gotten them out yet. What about back here? Do they grow out a little bit more?
Yeah, they can.
Yep, she's kind of looked like she was on the losing end of a fight too.
Yeah.
Hasn't quite, her feathers haven't quite grown back to kind of cover over the rear. It's one of those cosmetic things. I don't eat feathers, but that's another thing. Give me the other two. Okay. Now go ahead and pick the other one you didn't catch. All right. This one, well, we're going to see what the other one's like. This one's bigger than the first one that you had. She's a little more mature. Maybe she's the one that's picking on the other one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She's all. Really good. I like to balance her top out just like, you and I said that like the other one. See how she's kind of a little bit off. She also hasn't quite fully grown out yet. She's good body. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, this one's probably the smallest of the three. Nice. Just that. Very good. I really like her equal set. You see that?
Yeah.
Where it seems like she's got even amount on both sides. I like to have a little more growth, but they're young.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not there yet, but they're very good quality in my opinion. Like I said, she is the smallest of the three. Now, which one's the best of your three in there?
I'd say about the biggest one.
You think the biggest one is the best?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good strategy. What about the first one that we brought up?
It's pretty good too.
What? Yep.
Because the bones felt like they were pretty big.
Okay. What would you change about the first one?
I don't know, maybe make it a little bit bigger.
Okay. What about having her feathers all thrown out in uniform?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably help a little bit. Yep. Especially when she's a fancy individual. I have 3 blues on this one. And the best one, as I agree, is larger, more mature. I like to balance out her chop a little better. That's the one thing that the first one has, in my opinion, over the second one that you pulled out. She's just a little bit more uniform, but she's got some broken feathers that kind of like you said, maybe got picked on by the other one there. You have any questions?
No.
What are you going to do different next year?
Probably pick the ones that have like the more even ones, like
Alright.
more even heads.
Yep.
And try to pick out ones that have like the most feathers grown in. The reason why we saw that because a lot of them had really bad ones because of the big one. We just tried to pick the best out of them.
Well, there you go. Sometimes you got, it's kind of one of those things where you got to make lemonade out of the lemons that you've got. It's like, okay, we haven't got everything perfect, but we're looking at what's exactly. What's the best that I have or can work with to get these made up. So we got a blue, and we have 3 blues here, and then, like we both agree, the bigger of the 3 would be the first place individual before we get to everybody else. Do you have any questions?
No.
Well, I would recommend just keep in the shade until they get through everybody, and then we'll come back and see about putting yours in for the running for possible champion or something. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
That worked. Thanks.
You bet. Oh man!
We should bring
Okay, so
We can bring them up on
meats and now are those in the individual classes?
This is male, like bantams.
Okay. Bring me the female first. How old is she?
Was born. Got her in February.
So she was born in February. Well, you got unique chickens down here in Iowa. They're all born.
Hatch.
There you go. There you go. I was just wondering. Okay, so what were you looking for when you were picking her out?
Like the biggest one out of my hen,
Okay. Why?
just because it'd be better for laying eggs.
Okay. I mean, she's gonna lay such monster eggs anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So what's her breed?
Silver Sea Bright Bantam.
And what were you looking for? How many more you got home?
25.
So why did this one get to come to the show and the other 25 had to stay home?
Because the feathers on its head, like it had more feathers on its head, and it was like a bigger hen out of all of them.
Okay.
And they look more similar to each other.
All right. What are you feeding her?
Chicken feed.
Just
Regular
chicken feed. That's all. That's all. That's all it is. Just is that the name of it? Just chicken feed?
Yeah.
Oh, another
Make it
unique
out the
thing.
elevator.
Ah, see, a little different there. Okay, male now. How come his comb looks weird?
Not sure.
Wrong answer. No, you people, there's no such answer as I don't know. You gotta guess.
I did guess.
I don't know isn't a guess. Is that the right comb for this breed?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. See,
I
you,
said say breed.
well, you didn't. I'm looking at what kind of comb is that? I mean, is that the same comb as they've got?
No.
There you go. What kind is it?
Not sure.
I'm not telling you. But it's the one working well. How many do you have at home? How many more at home?
11 more.
11 more. So why did he make it and they didn't?
Because he was more dominant out of the other ones and his feathers were bigger.
You know what? Calm down. And tell me why he's the best rooster I've seen today. Brag.
I don't know.
No! Here we go
don't know.
again. Will he stay here? Or is he going to run away?
Should.
Run away or stay here?
You should stay.
It's a 50-50. Come on, stand up. Show up a little bit. There. Now, what's wrong with him? I can't think of anything. That's why I was hoping you'd tell me something. You know, his feather, his plumage is ideal. His coloring over his top, his tail set is mature. The only thing I would change is maybe a little straighter set to his comb. Just, you see that? Where he's just off of this, the tidge. He's not. If he's gotten into many fights, he's been the winner because he's not all dinged up like I've seen some of the other ones. He doesn't have any bruising. His pads and hocks and everything is clean. His eyes are alert and clear. Very nice individual. That's why I was just wondering if you could invent something that you didn't like, and then I could say, oh, okay.
You want them on the table or no?
Not yet. have I got in that class?
4.
4, okay. Okay.
And there's still 4 more of the females too.
We'll talk as we go on, like, her versus his and such. Okay, now we got meat brothers. Look asleep. Comatose. You're feeding them too good, right? Yep. What do they weigh? That's a wide range. How come there's such a wide range?
I don't know. I just picked my top biggest.
Top biggest.
3 biggest.
Okay, so before I get handling, I want, because everybody's got their own approach and everybody's got their own chicken thoughts and so on. Were you trying for the biggest? You're trying for uniform? You were trying for the 3 healthiest? What were you trying to do for your 3 individuals?
3 biggest with most muscle.
How many more you got home? Yes, just, yeah. I wouldn't know. 10,000. I don't know. What do you got home?
15 more.
15 more. Okay, so you're telling me these are your 3 biggest.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Big muscle, like breast muscle. And
Pick that one up. No. Yep. Move them to the middle. There. Why'd I do that? It is? Okay, you get on this side table. Give me your right hand. Put your right hand on top of my right hand. Feel how wide that breast meat is? Feel right there?
that's
So is
the
he the
widest.
big? Yeah. So is he the biggest? Okay. So why would I want him in the middle instead of on the end?
Because it looks more uniform,
Okay.
symmetrical.
There you go. There you go. We're trying, just in this example here. Which one would you want to replace? Because there's 2 pretty close and there's one that's not.
Those 2 are closer in that one.
Yeah, huh? That is, because he's not as quite as broad across the front of that breast. This one is extremely wide, but he's really wide to start with, but he doesn't carry through that thickness all the way through to the end of his keel, as well as this one does. Now, having said that, this one's not quite as wide as that one, but he carries the muscling farther back, down and filled up longer down into the keel. So, you actually have 3 different good chickens. As a pen, not so good, but you've got it's like a track relay team or something. Okay, you got 3 really good runners and then you got an extra one. Well, we don't have an extra one here. We only have a threesome. Each one of these are great, but together they don't quite match up uniformly all the way through. Very much in the blue. All 3 of these are blues. I would like to take part of him and stick him in him, and nobody could beat him, but I can't. So we'll just see how that goes. One thing that I do have to compliment you on is, as large as they are and heavy as they are, you've kept them really clean. Their pads and their hocks don't have sores like some of the others. So you've picked out some very good individuals for the show. All right, nice. Questions? Nope, not yet. Okay, good. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Great. What do we got?
Meat broilers.
Meat broilers. relation?
Friends.
Friends is good.
Yeah.
Which one's your best chicken?
Probably this one.
Probably. Come on, you put
This
them up on
one?
the. Oh, yeah, sure.
No, we'll go with this one.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Get around here.
Maybe not.
No, don't. Right hand on right hand. Okay. Feel across the breast there.
Yep.
Feel across that one.
Mhm.
Right there. Who's best?
This one.
Who's the worst?
This one.
Is it a little or a lot?
Maybe a little more than what you want.
What you want, right. These two are pretty close.
Yeah.
These
You
two
can
are pretty
definitely tell
close.
that this one's smaller.
And this one is a lot smaller. What they weigh?
9.7 to 10.2. 9.7, 10, 10.2.
So you know the weight doesn't the weight doesn't dictate the difference in them as much. I mean, this one, he's got a lot of difference in his wrist. So he,
Right.
if there's only that half-pound difference, he's got to be carrying it a little bit more maybe in his leg thighs, because
Okay.
he is by far a lot smaller in width and muscling compared to these other two. These two are pretty close. These two are pretty close. And you're feeding them what?
22%.
And these are how old?
A little over a month. Month and a half.
So you're
I
telling
think
me
they were hatched July or June, beginning of June.
beginning of June. So you're telling me, okay, so then
Just-
that makes them 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So 8 weeks.
About 2 months.
So,
Pushing 2 months.
so if they're 8 weeks and you've got them 10 pounds, is that a good balance? Should they be bigger? They gained really well. What do you
I think they gained fairly well.
for
for
the
8
eight
weeks.
split week? I think so
A
too.
little under 8 weeks is practice.
Okay, so if we're this 9 to 10ish or so weight, how big a carcass am I going to have? About.
For like when you butcher it?
Yep.
6 or 7 pounds?
Okay. Now, next thing, for you, not for the judge, for you, are these just right, too small, too big for you?
Just right.
Why?
We don't want super small ones when we eat them. Personally, at home,
Okay.
we want them a little bigger.
Okay. All right. So, when you process, do you leave them whole or do you cut them up?
Whole.
Okay. If you were to sell these birds, how much would you sell them for?
Like $2 a pound.
Oh,
15 a piece. 16 a piece.
you should. You sell a lot?
Well, yeah, we have like 75 of them at home. We'll sell all of them.
Yeah.
And that's what we did last year, so I...
No, that yeah. So where I'm from, and I'm not saying to change your prices on all your customers,
Yeah.
but you should be getting at least $3 to $4 a pound for your
Seriously?
birds.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's me
Right.
and my students. So what
Okay.
you sell them for, that's your deal. He pulls down the quality of these two because of
Yeah.
his muscling. Still good quality meat broilers. Blue ribbon for these 3 here. I'll let you go ahead and take them off, and then we'll have our next gun hole volunteer bring hers up. Oh no. The gurgling chicken. Why are your chickens gurgling?
They just drink water.
You know, what else?
I don't know.
How big are these chickens?
They were from like 10 and a half to 11 pounds.
Okay, so are these broilers almost done, past done?
Done.
Hear him?
Yeah.
He's telling you, stick a fork in me, I'm done last week. they start sounding like this, they're getting a little bit, they are past done. They're getting to a point where they're going to have some stay alive issues, especially if we have heat like we had last week. Now, this week doesn't sound so bad. But then again, you guys down here in Iowa have got perfect weather all the time, right? No. No? I thought you did.
No, not so much.
Well, we start getting into high humidity, he's going to sound worse than that. So that's just a suggestion from a judge who's going to be gone in an hour, so take it for what it's worth. Now, okay, who's your best chicken?
I don't know.
Ah! Stop saying I don't know.
This-
He started it, and then she said it, and now you said it. No!
This one
Yes.
because it wants to stay on the table.
Well, that is a good guess. So, get around here. Right hand on right hand. That's good. Right, see how white that one is?
Yeah.
That's a really good bird. See how white that one is?
Yeah.
Is that the same as that one?
Yeah.
Turn around, turn around, turn around.
Oh, it's smaller, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. So now your three-wheel cart has got two good wheels and one flat. I'm exaggerating, he's not that flat, but he's not as good as these two are.
Okay.
Another thing about your brothers here, I don't get too, when they're this big, I don't get too hung up about straight toes, but they do have crooked toes. Another thing about these, and that also comes about when we start getting over that 9 pounds plus, they're starting to get a little bruising on their pads and their back hocks. Okay, that's evidence on here. These are really good pen. They're a little bit past done of sorts. Two really good uniform individuals right here. I'd like to just put a little bit more width in the breast, across the breast right here to balance him out with these other two here. Any questions? See how labored he's breathing, and
Yeah.
basically we've got a breeze, he's in the shade, and it's like, holy smokes, if he was in the sun or didn't quite have this good conditions, he might have a real serious challenge. Now that's not to say he couldn't live another 2 months, but just as a shotgun look at him, that would be, I mean, look at this one here
Yeah.
and this one. You can tell he's a little bit more on the labored side. He's also a little bit heavier because we decided he was a little bit smaller. How many more you got at home?
I think like 65 to 70,
Okay.
guessing.
And why did these three get to come to the show, and the others had to stay home?
Because they were the biggest.
Biggest. So what you were looking for is the biggest.
Yep.
Okay. That's all.
Some of their feathers, like the other ones, like didn't line up on their wings.
Okay.
So that too.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So next year, is this your last year, or you get to come back?
I gotta come back.
Okay, so for next year, what are a couple of things you might do different?
Make sure that like their breasts or their breast cage is the same size.
Okay,
Or
so
close.
yep, so you want that width even, or as even as you can. How do you know? Well,
You
you can
feel it.
feel right across. Okay, what else?
Their feet, like
Mhm.
their sores.
On the pads and the hocks.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to not have those if possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a choice, but that's one thing that you want to try. What else?
Make sure, or maybe like a little less done.
But that's me, okay? And if this is the type of chicken that you want to have and you produce, that's the right answer, okay? So just because I'm here saying, okay, these things, doesn't mean what you're doing is wrong. It's just, okay, here's a couple of things to tweak. You got any questions? You got any questions?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes?
What's the color on that phantom then?
I don't know.
Reno.
Ah, good answer. Actually, I don't know isn't the right answer either. Okay, nice job, ladies. All blues. Yeah, we'll look at a couple more and. All All right.
Thank you.
You bet. I'll be back.
Sanitizer.
Okay, just time out. Oh. I didn't mean that much. Yeah, we're fine. All right, so who's present? Excellent. What are they? Are they all the? Are these three individuals?
It's a
Pen of three? Okay.
the sheets right there.
All right, hang on that one. How old are they? First week of June. So you guys got unique chickens on here. They get born. Your chickens get born. Ah, good, good, good. Okay. Okay, heads first. Let's look at all heads. Are they all the same? They're a little different, but not bad. They're good full. Now, if these were 2 months older, I'd say you have a problem. Right now, I think they match in pretty well. Okay. How many more you got at home?
Of this breed or just chickens?
These.
Four.
So, why did these three get to come today and the other four had to stay home?
Because these three were closest in size, and their breastplate was straighter.
Okay. Okay.
I guess that one's a little bigger, yeah.
A little bigger. So body-wise, she is. She's a little bit wider, but she's actually, you know, put your hands around her here. Feel that one? All right. You hang on to this one now, please. Got him? Okay. Now do the same thing to that one. Make sure you get the. How close is that one to this one? Pretty close. All right. So give it the. Now, same thing for this one.
They're all pretty close.
Pretty close, they are. They are. Now, the only difference that I see, if you want to grab that one, we'll look at this. Look at your cut. Now turn it around, head towards me, so that we're all looking at the same. Okay, so let go. I'll take this one. You come around my left shoulder or left side. Okay. How close are they?
It seems like this one's the biggest and this is good.
Yep, a little bit more. What about the tail girl?
That one.
Okay. That's about the biggest thing. You know, the modeling of the coloring is pretty close. And the courts are not too bad. She kind of is a little bit more mature because her tail feathers have grown on a little bit. These two are almost like peas. I ain't let it go.
Get a bird.
Loose chicken. Go get it.
I really didn't let it go. Maybe she'll just come back. Okay, so she won't come back. Maybe we can
We want it back on
whoops.
here.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, here comes. All right. Capture on the on Mitchell County Fairgrounds. All right.
That one's just a little smaller now.
Yep. Kind of wore off some extra there. But see, you got that little bit more maturity in that tail. The coloring is very close between the three. The headset, this is a little bit, you see how, even though it was running, how this one has a little bit darker pigmentation in the comb and walls. This one is kind of, you know, okay, there's kind of your color differences. You know, you got the darkest over here, we got the lightest. This kind of takes away this one, in my opinion, before you would even handle them, if you said, okay, they were X age, I would count her as being the youngest. I wouldn't call her immature, but she's not as mature as this one right here. Okay, and you pointed that out too. Now, what's that mean to the three? I think they're all three really good and fairly uniform. They just have a little bit of differences on their maturity. What would I do different? I'd like to find two more like her,
Okay.
but you've got these here, and so what are we going to do with these three? I think you match up pretty good. They've got clean feet and shanks. Their coloring, their maturity, and their primary and secondary feathers are pretty close. The only thing I'd like to do, like I said before, is I'd like to give them just a little bit more growth in the tail like we've got in this one. I'm not too hung up on the modeling. Yes, I'd like this one maybe to be a little darker, you know,
Yeah.
to see that. But I think you matched them up really, really close for what you had here. Okay, so let's not let them go, or get away. I mean, we'll put them back in here and put their cover back on. Now, what are you feeding them?
Green roast beef.
Okay, what percent protein's that? No, wrong answer. 6%. 42%. No, 10 is a better answer than I don't know. It's more than likely probably a 16 to 22. Is it pelletized or is it granular?
I think it's green.
Okay. So, are you going to change? Are you going to keep these hens into production from now on, or are you going to start over later?
We're gonna keep them into production.
What color eggs are you going to lay?
Brown. White. I'm thinking black or brown.
Black or brown? You know, if you could get those chickens to lay black eggs, I'm pretty sure I can find people that would buy them like no other. But they're not going to be black. Okay? The coloring on their earlobe gives you an indication as to what they're going to be. They're not white, they're dark colored. So they should be laying from a cream to a black. Now these are not black, brown. So these are not going to be white eggs. These are going to, in their pigmentation, they should come through with that. What are you? How old did you say these were?
They were born the first week of June.
Oh, you're gonna have a while. When are they gonna start laying?
I'm not sure. They haven't really started laying. You're thinking they were gonna start laying soon, but they haven't actually.
Generally 14 to 20 weeks. So how old are they now? They're first week of June, then we're first week of August, so we're about 8 plus, right? So we got probably another 2 months-ish before they'll start laying for you.
Okay.
Alright? If you're going to do anything different, what would you do next year? If you brought these next year, what would you look for, or what would you try to do?
I try to make sure that they have about the same length of tail
Yep.
feathers, about the same color feathers.
Yep.
And then like the heads, like make sure they're
The combs are similar because they're also a little bit different in size. Okay. Now, another suggestion, but this is a suggestion, not a do it. If you are planning to bring production or egg type chickens, regardless of the breed, first off, you figure out when your show is, and then you back up 16 to 20 weeks. Now, that doesn't mean everybody has or wants chickens that soon. So you got to kind of work with that. It works a lot better if you're closer to that egg production when they're getting evaluated. But then again, if you don't have that opportunity, nor do you want them at that early of a date, that's something going to be a factor that you'll have to determine. Okay? These are blues. I'd like to, if I had a magic wand or crystal ball or something, you just kind of tweak them a little bit like we were talking. Do you have any questions? Nothing. Okay, so we are moving on here. Nice project. Okay, show me something.
Decide what you're doing first. Wait, you can't open that.
A, B. Fine. Well, you just grab something. It don't matter what we start with because we're going to get through them all. So, one way or another. So, are these all in the same class?
No. No. Those two are Colton's.
Okay,
And then this one.
that's good.
These two
Okay,
are in the same class.
those two, but not these.
No, that one's
Why
in
not?
big.
Bigger breeding class. Just because he's bigger? Yeah, well, that would do it. Okay, so who's this? This one's yours? Okay, what is it?
It is a Americana.
Americana. Okay. Why? How do you know it's Americana? There's a couple of features.
It has red, white, and blue coloring.
Okay. What else?
It's
Something even more important. Two things that are more important than the red, white, and blue, or whatever.
X, or it's L. It's waddles.
Yes, and what else?
It's feet.
Oh, what about the feet?
It has an extra toe.
True, but
And
what
it's
else?
fluffy.
It's fluffy.
It has feathers.
There. Yeah, feathers, not fluff. Fluff, no good. Okay. So, when was it? How old?
We got him March, April. In April.
Okay. So, what do you like about him?
He's colorful. He has kind of a weird name, but
Okay. What's his name then?
we don't know. Like the Americana.
Oh, that kind of weird name. I thought you had a weird name for him. Okay. What about his comb? What kind of comb does he have?
Spiky?
Close. Close. He didn't like spiders.
Isn't it a crown?
No, this is not a crown. If it's a crown, you guys got problems. It's got the same comb, same kind of comb as that one does. It's not married, you say. Okay, if you're a bachelor, it's single, yeah, good. Okay, I had bad terms, but oh well, we got it. Okay, so looking at this one, are all the feathers there? Yep. What about here? Anything we'd want to change? Could have maybe a little longer or more uniform flag feathers. I do not see any broke, but I see some coming. So if he was just a little more mature, not that he's bad, he'd have a little bit more growth. But then again, if he's getting picked on by somebody else, you know, the brother, yeah, okay, so that's gonna. Now, one thing we want to make sure is toes, and toes. Make sure none of them are cracked, make sure none of them are gone. And we want them all what color? Yes. So if he had black toes, that would, yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
What about
Feather? Well, he's different
okay.
because, and we'll get to him. But you know, this one is good. Is a single. It's my finger. So he's got a little bit. His feathering on his beard is pretty good. The one thing I'd like to change is I'd like to have five spikes. How many you count? Well, you know, this one doesn't count, that's the lobe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, kinda, but not. Yeah. So I wouldn't want it to look like, I wouldn't want his first one to look like that, but I'd like to have a little bit more distinction than what he had. But now I'm getting picky, because I don't eat combs, but that's something on general appearance that we would want. Can I just like poke them in there? Alright, so now I'm back to this one. Are these in the same class? No.
Not that one.
I was hoping you'd say that. Okay, why?
It's because it's a band.
Yes. So, wing feathers good? Wing feathers good? Yeah, they're kind of beat up a little bit, but they're there, right? What about his flag feathers?
He has a new.
Yep, he's getting there, but is he better or is he better?
I think it's him.
Yes, good answer. Yes, even though the judge told you, but you know, we won't say anything, you know. Okay, what about the feet?
They
They're good, they're clean, there's no bruising. Yep, they're all the right color. Okay? What would you change about him?
5 spots.
Yes, but again, it's getting a little picky, and it's not something we can do anything about now. A few months ago, or in our breeding selection before, we would have gotten them a deal, but it's kind of tough to do it right now. He's a nice rooster though. Okay. Can I just let him go? Okay.
The red one's the only one that you have to put in the kennel.
Okay. So, what do we got here?
A silky bantam.
A silky bantam.
She's kind of tore up a little.
Yeah, she is kind of beat up a little bit, isn't she? Yeah, kind of. But I really like the fairly uniform coloring that we have. Your tail's pretty good. Your top is not too bad. Eyes are same color. That's a good thing. Now, if they were pink and blue, we'd have problems. But they're not. Oh, yeah, good, good. You can smile. That's good. Okay, so, okay, the beak is nice and straight. She looks healthy. Now, looking at the toes. Nothing's cracked. Nothing's broke. Nothing's cracked. Nothing's broke. The only thing, kind of like her wing feathers, I kind of like to have her feathers on her feet a little, yeah, a little bit longer, because she's kind of got them all dinged up. But having said that, for overall conformation, I think it's pretty good, fairly uniform. She doesn't have any gaping holes. She just got a few tweaks here and there. Okay. Of these three, no, they're not in the same class, but of these three, which one's the best? You like this one?
I like the kids with the white bands.
You like the Banny Rooster? Okay, let's, we'll get to them. Well, let's take some more.
Do you want
Alright.
this pen of 3?
Um,
Or do you want my rooster first?
let's get your rooster first.
Okay.
And then,
He's a bit mean.
okay,
He's a Rhode Island red.
Rhode Island Red. So, what is something special about Rhode Island Reds versus, others? Okay, is this a fancy chicken?
No.
Is this a meat chicken?
No.
Is this a dual purpose chicken? Yeah, good. So, what?
It's a meat and an egg.
Yes. And so the advantage that this one has versus a couple that you have in there and so on is that the intention of this, and this is one of the older breeds that we have, is that the intention is, okay, we can get eggs out of them, and then if eggs isn't a choice, then we could eat them. Not that we can't eat the rest of them, but you know, that's one of those. Exactly, right. So, well, how's our comb?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. Now, is he in with other roosters?
Yes. We have like 4 other ones.
Yep. Yep.
There's a white one that does not have a comb at all.
He kind of gets picked on.
He
Yep.
does. He's
This-
usually the one that picks on him because he used to live with our turkey.
Oh.
So he got picked on by the turkey and then he started picking on
Picking
the
on
other
everybody
chickens.
else. Okay. All right.
So I think the turkey does that to him.
I think, you know, his back, he's got a couple of busted back feathers. Not bad. Wing feathers are good. Conformation. Okay. Straight keel bone. Good muscling in the legs and thighs. Good feet. Toes are all here. No sore pads. No sore hocks. Very nice rooster. Very nice. I am going to give him back so that you can put him in the carrier so he's not like beating up on somebody. Right. Okay. So you go ahead and okay, so you have your 10 and 3 pullets now? Alright, why don't you give me one. Okay, you hang on to this one. Got it? And then give me another one. And then you get the third one. No? Is that all of them in here?
This is the last three.
Okay, so
And then the ducks. And then the ducks.
alright, they're out here, but this is the last
Yeah, and
in
then
there. Okay, good. So how when did you get these?
same April.
Okay, and what kind? Not.
They're sapphire blues. Sapphire gems.
Okay. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good. Good. And all right, I want to trade you. Give me that one. Got that one. Okay. Now, don't let go. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Got that one? Oh. All right. Good deal. What were you looking for when you picked these out?
Color.
Color?
And the legs.
Okay. So, they lay gray eggs, right?
Yes. No. White.
Gotta have some fun, right? Come on. COVID is screwing everything else up, you know. Judge can be a little stupid. All right. So, no, they're not going to lay gray eggs. But what color eggs are they going to lay? Well, look at their heads. You can tell without looking at mom and dad. Okay. Color of the lobes. So are they gonna lay brown eggs or white eggs or an off fish? Yeah. Okay. So, are they laying eggs now?
Yes. They've started just.
Yes, these are, you know, the only thing, I suppose they won't stand, will they stand on this table or just, I don't want them getting away, so let's just all do the 3 tag team kind of thing. Okay, now, looking at these 3, what would you do different? How many more you got home? One? Oh boy, you didn't have a whole lot of choice. Okay, so
She's a bit lighter than the other one.
lighter than this one?
She's lighter than all.
Okay, so when you're picking these out, their heads are pretty much the same. That's good. Their combs aren't perfect, but they're not too bad. The overall modeling across the top to their tails are fairly close. The maturity of these 3, now, okay, go ahead and pick them up. I got to show you something. Because when you guys bring chickens again, as long as you do, and you're going on the female or egg production, you're looking for maturity and body capacity. So first thing, okay, so I want both of you to do this. I want you, first off, I want you to put, if you can, one hand. You right-handed or left-handed? Well, you right or left? Okay, so take your chicken, got them? You want to put your hand right here. Whether you put one finger between the legs or 2, it doesn't matter. Can you get it? Oh, get, there. Yep. Got it? Right in between there. Right, like, put your fingers right between there. Just like, no, put your fingers, like, see my finger? It's like right there. Yeah, just like, got it? Good. Yep, and then you got it, and then you got it. Now, you should be able to hang on to her, bring her around. There, one-handed. Okay, good. Now, what I want to show you, yeah, well, they're not always. Okay, so you're looking for body capacity in a female. So you're going to take your hands, you're going to take your hand on the top and your hand underneath. So you're going to take this hand, put it right there, and you're gonna kind of like somebody's hiking you a football. And you're gonna put in your hands right there. Got it? Got it? Okay. So go ahead and put it back up and hang on to it so that you're like this, so that you don't get away from you. Get them just like that. So you got that, kind of got that football hike. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna trade chickens, but don't let go until I tell you. Okay, I got this one. Now I want you to take this one. You tell me when you got her. Now you do the same thing to her as I just did. You know, we're gonna do the football hike. Just like this. Got it? Exactly what I wanted you to find out. She is bigger than the one you just gave me. Okay? Now put this hand, got her? With your right or not? Okay. Get it? Okay. Now take your left hand. Almost. Okay. So take your left hand right there. Yes. Okay. Now, keep hanging on. Keep hanging on. Let my finger get. Okay, there. Now this time, I want you. No, no, no. Take your hand, just like mine. Take your hand and slide. Yes, just like that. Slide it right in, like. You got her? Okay. Now take your left hand and move it up towards your head. There. So I want you to put your hand like there, just like that. Now, how does she compare to this one?
She's smaller.
Little bit smaller, isn't she? Okay. She's the biggest of the three. She's the most mature. These pin bones. Give me this hand. You feel those two sharp bones? Those are called the pin bones. Now, you're going to turn your hand around, and you're going to find them right there. They're pretty close, aren't they? Even though there's a body size difference. Can you feel yours? Yep, right there. You feel it? All right, now we come around. They're pretty close, aren't they? They're all three of them, maturity-wise, are like peas in a pod, just the way you want them. The only difference between the is she's the biggest size. So in the long run, she's probably going to lay more eggs because she's got more body capacity, even though all three of these are the same maturity. These are really close, and she's like way ahead of them. Okay? For body size only. Maturity, peas in a pod. All right? So let's go ahead and yeah, put your in there. Put that one in there. And put this one in there. All right. So, yeah. What do we got for ducks? And yours is a Susie. That's a new kind. All right. So. Mallards. One thing that we're looking at, what kind of duck is a mallard? I mean, is it an egg duck? Is it a fancy duck? Is it a meat duck? It's a meat. Okay. Really like the maturity that we have in the tailing. Hasn't quite come through. Hasn't come through with the total green head, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got? Female.
Yeah.
All right, you got that one? Got it? Now, one thing I don't like is that band. Okay? If this was a true mallard, she should be dull colored, and he should be a show off. Okay? Because in the wild, and now we're not in the wild, but in the wild, she's going to sit on the egg, she's going to protect it, she's going to try to not show off. He wants to show off. That's why he is all colorful and everything else. So,
But she's got teal and white and
right. So I'm not. Did you get these from a hatchery or a neighbor?
we got it from Tractor Supply.
Yeah, but so I'm not saying Tractor Supply didn't sell you the right ducks. I'm just saying that in comparison, I'd like to have that look more like this, and kind of like, see, She looks great. Whoops, I guess not. Okay. So, I really like her maturity and her muscling that she has, so I'm going to leave that one in a blue. I'd like to have on him, stop. I'd like to, yeah, there. I'd like to have a little bit more distinct coloring over that top. Again, it's not bad. He's very mature. He's nice and clean. He doesn't have any bruising. All his toenails are there. They're white. Okay, you see the toenails? You don't want them. You don't want them. Unless, of course, he's been digging around, and then that's a different story. All right. So, they had some curds someplace.
I got him.
All right. So, we are going to. This one's a. That's a blue, and this was. That was what? Which rooster was that? That was the Rhode Island Red.
The Rhode Island Red.
Okay, so this is a blue, and that's a green stuff. This was the
That was the Banny Rooster.
Banny Rooster. This is also a blue. This is a definite blue. And put a little X there. This is that'll be a blue. This one was your Banny female. That was the silky.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be a blue and an X there. And this is, oh wait a minute, we got pullets and a male. Which
Oh, this one wasn't correct.
was that the was that the
Yeah, we switched this one.
the
That was probably the Rhode Island.
yeah, but which one
Wait,
was
that was the
one?
Rhode Island Red.
This is the
That
Rhode
one's
Island.
Connor's. Yep. So the other
one was
rooster,
supposed to be
the large breeding stock, like this one. This
the-
one was Colton, so that one was the colorful.
Okay, good. So this one, I want to do next. Okay, so all blues. There's a couple little tweakings on some. That 3/810 is really mature. I mean, you could feel them with your eyes closed, and you couldn't tell the difference. You open your eyes, now what do you have? You got a little color difference, got a little body capacity difference. So there's, if I had magic wand, we could change a couple of things like that. But otherwise, maturity-wise, which in my opinion, maturity and body size are the two factors first, and then we look at the coloring and things from there. Okay? You guys got any questions? Those are all really nice projects. Thank you for bringing them. Do we leave these or do
They take them up when they do their ribbons.
Okay, so do we hang on to them or do they stay here? Okay, fine. All right, so
The next one.
next. You betcha. Yes, please. Great. That's not a good start.
He's talking to you. How are you guys? Good, how are you? Good. You're so happy.
All right, what we got?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you can.
When did you get them?
February 14th. No, that's not.
That's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, February 14th.
So that makes them how old? Are you sure?
7.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
No, you can't. I don't know. It's not an answer. We already eliminated that one way back there, so you can't use I don't know. You sure?
5 months.
Come on, count quick.
6, 7, I don't know.
Oh, no. I don't know. I can't use I don't know. Got him. Buff Orpington. Oops. What are you feeding them? No, you can't do it. I don't know.
What's it called?
Chicken layer, meat builder, water buffalo. What? You know, come on. You gotta give me something. There you go. You don't remember. See, that don't remember is a better answer than I don't know.
See, at least if you get it wrong, then I think it's right.
Yeah, but see, if she says it first, you can't. How many more you got at home?
Of this color, 7 more.
So why did these three make it the fair and they had to stay home?
Because they're all the same weight and have the best certain combination.
Okay,
They don't have crooked toes.
that's a good thing because if they did that would not be good.
That's a disqualifying factor, isn't it?
Yes. So tail feathers fairly mature in all three of them. Which one's your best hen?
I probably said
You probably whose are these? Yours are well then. Which one's the best? Oh, just because he said that means it's the best one? How do you know for sure? Looks nice doesn't count. Not in eggs. There's three things you got to look for. Yeah, well that helps, but that's not the main one. If you're looking for good egg production pullets, regardless of breed or color, what are three factors that you should be looking for? Size, body capacity, maturity, right? So what do you mean by size? Size is, this is body capacity. Size should be how long the keel bone is so that we have length of body. Maturity is between your pin bones. Okay? So, which one's the most mature? Which one, I'll tell you, which one of these three has not laid its egg yet today?
How do
You
tell
can
that?
tell.
You know how to tell.
You can tell. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like floodgates open. You can seriously tell which one has not laid its egg today.
No.
You got three choices. You got one spare hand. You can check. No, I'm not God. I'm not that good. All right. No, feel that one.
This one maybe? I don't know.
But no, come on. Where are you even? Where are you putting your hand?
Probably the wrong spot.
Well, okay. What grade are you in? What school do you go to? You gotta talk to that egg teacher at Osage and get on the poultry team so you can figure this stuff out. Anyway, give me your hand. Okay, flat hand. So you feel those 2 points right there? Those are pin bones. Now you move down a little bit. Now give flat hand. Now feel right there. Feels like a softball. Oh, guess what's there? Okay, so now I'm gonna trade you chickens. Got that one? Now I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay. Right there's your pin bones. Okay. Are these about the same? Not that. Okay, so now we're 50-50. Haven't got this one yet. All right, trade you. You got this one. Got it? On me or you?
everyone.
Oh well. You think we're butchering or something. Okay, so flat hand again. Right there. Okay. Now you move down. Who's bigger? Ah, good guess. All right. They're all very, very mature, very uniform. Again, if I had a magic wand and I don't eat combs, I'd like to just match them up a little bit more. But like you said, you haven't got that much at home, so you did the best you could with what you've got. Okay. Having said that, the maturity of all three of these is almost peas in a pod. The length of the keel bone is almost identical. You do have a little bit of body capacity difference between the three of them. Just a little. How do you know? Pretend you're playing football. Put your hands around it. Go ahead, do it. Put your hands around. And make sure you do it in the same place. So, okay, you got it right there. Put the fingers together and see how close you come to the cone. Okay, good. Now we're going to trade.
No, I prefer not.
Now do the same thing. Are they pretty close?
Close.
No, try that one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, huh? A little difference there, isn't there? Okay. It's not a lot, but there is a little bit of difference between the three. Okay. So I really like the three. The maturity, the overall balance are fairly uniform. This one's just a little bigger, just a little bigger. The maturity is peas in a pod. Length of the keel bone is almost identical, and your toes are great. So blue ribbon on this one.
I got him.
That's fine, that's fine. So where do we go with these? Like a cage or whatever, let's just, okay. Alright, so yeah,
Or you want to do all? Or you want to do all?
Sure, fine, we can do that. Got that? Or not? There you go. So this, okay. So, okay, so what's this? Okay. So what do I want to see? I mean, what class is it in? So is this just for looks, or is it egg production, or is she gonna grow muscles out her eyeballs, or what's the deal? Dad, don't be those. This is your project, young lady. Come on. No idea. Egg layer. Oh, good. Come on. I mean, jeepers. It is your project, right? Yep. You are so positive. Okay, so we've got great maturity in the primary and secondary feathers. There's nothing missing. Our tail is good. We've got a straight heel. Our toes are clean. No sores. Colored eyes are good. What kind of comb she got? Nah, don't you dare say I don't know. You had it right the first time. Go first. There you go. There you go. Sir, how old is she?
7 months.
Are you sure?
No.
No.
We're born in February, and today is the end of July, 1st of August. That's
So,
That's
so
not. That's 6, 7. No.
March, April, May, June, July, not quite August. So we're going 5 plus.
Yeah.
So 5 months makes her how many weeks? Because when you're when we're dealing with egg production, we go by weeks. We don't go by months. In meat birds, we go by days. So she is about how many weeks old? 22 weeks, 22-ish. Okay. Now, is she laying eggs? Yes. When did she start? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe? You're not really sure because she's a month, 4 weeks, 4 weeks ago. Typically, she's going to start between 14 and 16 weeks. And then some of our heavier meat brothers, they're going to have to be a little bit older because they just take longer to mature. Okay? Really nice. What would you do different? I give you a magic wand. You change something about her. Are you sure?
No.
I'm not either. Now, okay. Is her comb supposed to look like that? Good answer. Good answer. Is it supposed to look like that? Kinda. Kinda.
Much probably.
Yeah. So how many spikes do you have? There you go. Okay. That's the one thing I would change. If it's now here's I got some judges, they want them flopping this way. Others want them flopping this. I don't care as long as they flop. Okay. I mean, if she was a lot younger, her comb won't be to that growth point where it's going to flop either way. Okay. You catching the spike number, that was good. That was good. Okay. Put wherever same age? What kind is this? Magic wand time. I would just like to balance out the color. You see that? Well, wouldn't necessarily be more as much as balance. Because you're heavier on your dark color this side, you're lighter on this side. It kind of comes through the modeling over your top and down through your neck a little bit also. A little bit. Because if you look at him, he tends to have just a little bit darker on that side. You know, he's not as bad here as he is back here. It just kind of as the coloring travels. But then again, I'm getting like that pixie. You know, cages don't help, and that's just part of life. Yeah, well, you know, maybe he's trying to tell you something. No, no, seriously. Okay, comb. Good. No. Yes. Yay! Good answer. Good answer. What's one of the biggest problems we're going to have with this type of male bird? Is he a show off? Does he like to fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so because of that, he's gonna get into a fight, especially if he's the loser. He's gonna get his comb dinged up. They're gonna, you know, I don't know what it is about chickens, but that's the first thing they want to go to. It's almost like they paint a big target on each other and say, "Come and get me," you know. And then once they do that, then that also takes away from their general appearance that we have here too. The feathers are pretty good. There aren't any dinged, yes. Broken, yeah, I would have to say no. What color tone is it? White? Black? Don't you dare tell me I don't know. You sure?
No.
The color he's got. Okay. Here's a hint. What color is that? Is that white? Is it black? Is it kind of, there you go. So, what color is there? Kind of both, right? Is there anything wrong with those ones? My opinion. Now you go next week and they'll say I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll just go that route. Okay? We have a blue on this one. If I was there's not a lot I would change about him except his color. I'd like to just balance him off just a little bit more.
Did they call that a blue then, or what did they call it? Because we just ordered Andalusians and they sing a straight
I
rod.
don't think it can be blue, because the blue one last year looked exactly like the blue hen. So
I want to say he needs a little more, in my opinion, he needs a little more color to be a blue. So
last year we had that black one that was really painted. So I don't know what color to call it. He's not really the same color as the hens. I mean, hens like that, it's more of a blue.
right,
Yep.
there, yes.
Which
But-
color for her hen that is
Blue, yes. Put an X on her hen and an X on her pen. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So. Okay. So. All right, Bob. All right. So first thing. Roll it out. First thing. Down.
I know we didn't do it.
There you go. So first thing, head check. You know what I'm saying?
That one's bruised.
Off a little bit, yeah, but they're pretty much the same, yes? Yes, okay. So that out of discussion, we have to look at something else before we get into handling features. So, what kind?
black.
Black, are you sure they're black? I mean, that kind of looks a little greenish in there. So then we look at tail feathers. Okay. Good fan. Okay, good. Now, ooh. Okay, let's do that again. Okay. Look at your body. Look at your body. Right there. Without handling, which one do you think is the biggest? Yeah, I think that's before we handle. Okay. Okay. All right, trade you. Not a get that.
That was on the party load today.
Got. Oh, I can tell somebody hasn't had its egg yet. I can tell one did. All right, we'll trade. Oh, I can tell who hasn't had their egg yet. One of these three has. I'm not saying you're wrong. Now, because, okay, we're gonna do it. You play football?
Used to, yeah.
No, good enough answer. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hike. No, you haven't heard the story yet. She's mad because she didn't get to go first. Okay, so I'm gonna hike you a chicken. Okay. I want you to find out its body capacity, laying your hands across the wings through the chest floor. Okay. No, you're doing it wrong. No, you gotta look at me. There you go. Yep, just like that. Okay, got it? You got it. She's all yours. You got that? However you do it, you're going to do it the same all three. So if you put your fingers together on the bottom, I don't care, but you're going to do it the same. I'm not telling you right or wrong. You are doing it the same. Okay? Got that one?
I mean, how can you measure? I'm not sure.
Okay, you were one of the first ones to say you don't know. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your fingers together underneath. So touch your fingers. Fingers. Tip to fingertips. There. Now put your thumbs together across the back of the chicken. So what you're trying to do.
I can't do it.
Well, no, yes, you can. Don't give me that small hand.
You're not supposed to make it.
Okay?
You're supposed to see how far it is.
Right here. You're just touch the bottom fingers, and then whether you got little fingers or not doesn't matter. But you do it the same each chicken. So you got the fingers together, and then you come across the top because you're trying to see how big a body it has. Okay? So you got that one figured out? So same thing. Put your fingers together in the bottom, and then come together. Good. Okay. Then you give it to her, and then she hikes you that chicken. And then you gotta catch them the same direction, just like that. Got her? Which chicken's the smallest chicken? And it's not a little small. It's a lot small.
Like the smallest one means
Smallest
you
of
can,
the
like,
three.
touch it, right?
Smallest of the three.
Smallest
So you're putting your fingers together. Which one's the smallest of the three?
That one.
Yeah. And which one do you think laid its egg?
That one.
Okay, so they're all three very mature. This one's just a little ahead of these two on laying eggs. Does that matter? No. Does it matter if it lays in the morning or afternoon? No. It's just something they do. Okay? What are you going to change? If I give you a magic wand that says, okay, other than attitude, what are you going to change about these three?
Can I get a better look at this
Yeah,
one?
don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. Okay, let go.
Just looking at them, probably earlobes. That one's kind of weird.
Yeah, okay, well, I suppose you could do that. You might change the combs a little bit. You could change they're beat up a little bit. They're not quite the same style, even though they're singles. Okay, these are fairly long. That one's kind of a little bit wider at the base and kind of cuts over on the back lobe. Okay, the toes are all good. Body capacity is a little bit different. Even on the one that's laid its egg, she's still a little bit smaller than the other two. So that would be the one thing I would want to change, is try to make her a little more uniform compared to these two. Okay? That's not a bad thing, that's just a thing. You go in there?
Yep.
Okay, so is she in another class?
That's my fancy.
Okay, so you can get her, and we'll put these two back. This is a blue. before I get handling, what would you change about her?
A little crooked color.
Yeah, I kind of want to straighten that toe a little bit. Just doesn't quite want to straighten out, does it? Besides that, what'd you change? No. I just got my thumb there. Yeah. Okay. Single comb. I'd like to have 5 spikes here. They don't have to be huge. They just have to be distinct. We'd like to make that excellent body size, excellent maturity. Wing feathers, good. Tail feathers fairly uniform on both sides. Nice one. Clean. Yep, good. Easy blue on this one. Flip your hook.
Just, yeah, that thing.
Okay. And all right. Yeah. Heat didn't help him too much, did it? Oh, darn it.
Too tall.
Yep. Yeah, it's not bad, but they're not quite uniform. Okay? Again, that's, to me, that's real nitpicky. But he's like, you know, to me, he'd lose like a point, maybe 2. Doesn't have any growth feathers, that's good. Primaries, secondaries. What's the primary feathers? What's the secondary?
Primary go on. It's just
Yep.
bigger and smaller ones. Or
What's
like
the-
on top.
What's the middle feather? What's the feather called between the primary and secondary?
The secondary and that hand.
Second. Oh, good answer. It's better than I don't know. All right. I wish he didn't ding himself up, but that's just life. Okay. I really like his flag feathers. What's left of him. His overall color. I really like the balance of his color. He's not. I've seen a couple this summer where I don't know if they got too much sun or what, but they were just kind of bleached out of sorts. And he is very nice, very nice. Okay. How do we put him right there? Okay. Any more?
Nope, that's it.
Oh no!
Oh, somebody ate the egg.
Shucks. Don't want that to get started, but hey, right there. Okay, how many X's did I make?
You did. I haven't had any on Ian's. You had the easy for the one that you told me that you didn't have an X, and then Victoria had 2 X's.
I want an X on his 3 and an X on his single. We might come back to the males, but for now we'll just leave them all blues.
And you guys can go up and get your ribbons.
Squirt there, sir.
Get changed. Keep those on 2 cards.
Excellent, thank you. So we got all the numbers for now, right? Yep. All right, here we go.
Sorry.
You get time next week.
What we got? Male, female? How do you know? of them over there, they couldn't say I don't know anymore. So everybody else couldn't say I don't know. That means you can't eat it. This is the way it is. So, how old?
I was born in May.
You again. You have unique geese and chickens if they're born in Iowa.
Hatched.
There you go. All right, all right. What do you have to do to get ready for the show?
Give it a bath.
Uh-huh. What color is this individual supposed to be?
White and brown,
Are you sure? Supposed to be white? Yeah. Okay. So is this an egg layer? Is it a fancy, or is it a meat?
Meat.
Okay. So if it's a meat individual, what are two areas on this individual that we want to show off or hope grows better than the other parts?
The breast.
Yep, the breast. Okay. And one thing about some ducks and geese is they grow slower, so we have to kind of just take in consideration what are they going to get to. She's correct. Straight. Good leg and thigh. Straight. What are you feeding them?
She's downstairs. So she's
Downstairs? Downstairs in your barn or what? Yeah, okay. How many more do you have at home?
One more.
How come this one got to come to fair and that one had to stay home?
This one's bigger.
Oh, that'd be a good enough answer. What would you do different next year if you were to bring this project or this type of project to the Metro County Fair?
Make sure it has the right color.
Okay, what else?
Bigger.
How so bigger? What do you mean? Bigger, taller, longer, wider?
Wider.
Wider? You want them wider? Yeah, okay, that's a good answer. Okay, so what are you feeding it?
Layers 18.
Layer 18. Okay, now you just told me it's a meat bird and you're feeding it layer feed. So how does that work out? See, that's a good enough answer, because instead of having 14 different feeds, we're going to feed one, Judge, and that's the one it gets, right? Yeah, well, that's a good enough answer. We've got a blue here. I don't know where she goes, but we'll move on to the next one. All right, the dinosaur. Male or female?
Male.
How do you know? Because it's uglier than sin, Judge. That's one guess. What kind is it?
Muscovy.
What color variety? Blue, bluish. Now black would be like that. This would be more of a blue. Okay. What are, do you clip the wings?
Yes.
Why?
So they don't fly away.
Ah, good answer. And Muscovies will too, I guarantee it, if you give them a chance. What are they? Are they a fancy meat or egg bird? Duck, I mean.
Meat.
Yes, we can use them for egg production. They tend to be more so on a meat production kind of basis. They're probably our second best meat production ducks that we have. Is this one mature? Okay, so is this going to get any bigger? No. What if you're going to pick out a different, or if you're going to bring a Muscovy again next year, what is something that you would want to try to have or do for the fair? No. I told you can't use that as an answer. Come on. Give me an answer. Did you hatch it yourself or buy it from a hatchery or feed store? You bought it from the hatchery, okay? So now it doesn't work for everybody because you don't either have the room, facility, or time. But something that you might consider, if you're not going to get the ducks sooner than you did, you might want to consider maybe a supplement kind of idea. Now, you live in town or in the country? Okay. Do you have a dairy farmer, cattle or goat anywhere near you? Okay. So, one thing the dairy farmers always do, they have like a pipeline or parlor or something like that, you think, kind of, sort of, maybe? Okay. Every dairy farmer has milk waste. Okay? Because after they wash out their milk system and everything, they have some milk that never gets into the bulk tank. So, as a suggestion, not that you have to, but as a suggestion, you can make a deal with a dairy farmer and get some of their waste milk and mix that with your egg layer food, give it to your Muscovy duck, and they are going to grow meat like no other. And then you can always maybe trade one of the ducks to the farmer for that waste milk that they're going to put down their drain. Just an idea, just an idea. Okay, what do we got next?
What color ribbon for that one?
Blue. That would be in the meat class, right? Or, no, wait a minute. That one was different because you had the broilers versus...
There is a meat class for them.
There is?
Yes.
Then put an X on that one.
There's just not a championship.
No, well, we give them a ribbon if that's the way it goes. Okay, so
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
what do we have here?
Rhode Island Red.
Rhode Island Red. How old? A year old. And why did you bring a year-old Rhode Island Red to the show? Okay, okay, okay. What color eggs does he lay? None? What's the sense of having a Rhode Island Red if they don't lay eggs? There you go, there you go. Okay, okay. If this was a hen, what color eggs would it lay? Brown. Okay. So is a Rhode Island Red a fancy, a meat, or an egg producer?
Egg producer.
Egg producer. Okay. They're actually, that was kind of a trick question. A Rhode Island Red is more so of a dual purpose. So we want to get eggs out of them, and we want them to grow muscle meat. He, like you said, doesn't lay any eggs, so it's not going to do any good for that side. We're going to want him to look fancy, run around with the girls, and later on grow some muscle so that we can eat him. Or not. You know, I can tell you really want to eat him. But anyway, that is something that we would look at. His coloring is great, his tail feathers are great, his comb, the only thing that I would change about his comb is I'd like to have 5 distinct, especially if he's a year plus, I'd like to have 5 spikes. How many do you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got, well, that kind of counts, but it's not as distinct as this one, okay? So that would be something, if I had a magic wand and I could change something about him, I would like to change. But I can't, so I won't. So we give a blue on this one. Does that go in the open one? That one. And what do I got now? California white. I bet they lay brown eggs.
Well, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. I'd like to see that myself. So these California whites are going to lay brown eggs. California whites. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, okay. So, how old are they? Yeah, good catch, good catch. Okay, so if they're born slash hatched in May, how many weeks old are they? Nah, we're almost near school, so start using your fingers and pretend it was the 10th of May and count how many weeks from May to now. Ish? Maybe more like 12? No, we're talking May. May to June is 4. June to July is 8. Plus then add on a couple of more. So we're talking about, yeah, 10, 11, depends on which part of May, right? Okay, so California whites. California whites are one of the more popular white eggshell laying chickens, okay? They're not the one. They're generally, depends on which strain of California whites you get as to they tend to be more on a like backyard egg layers, or if they're on the production egg side of things. Okay, so what is one thing you see about them? What color feet and legs should they have? California whites should have what color feet and legs? Yellow. What color are those? Yellowish greenish. What color are those? Yeah. So that's we don't not good. So you can go back to your, where'd you get them from? Feed Elevator or store or Baumgart's, or where'd you get them from? Hoover's. Oh, I was afraid you'd say that. Okay, so you can maybe write a letter to Hoover's and say, hey, I got these California whites, but they got green legs. Take a picture, send it to them. Now, I don't guarantee they'll do anything about it, but sometimes I've had some kids who've had some issues with some of their birds. Sometimes they might give you a credit towards some chicks next year. Then again, they might say that judge was all stupid, you don't know what he's talking about, and we're not giving you squat. But my California whites tend to have yellow. Okay, so that, taking that in consideration, we're looking at maturity. Now, go ahead and hang on to that one. Okay, good. What you just did is what I want you to do, is put your hands around them and feel the body size. Okay, now I'll hang on to this one. Do the same thing to that one. Which one's bigger? Okay, now I want you to do the same thing there. Yeah, it's still bigger. See, these two are pretty close, but this one's bigger. Okay, maturity, you know where the pin bones are? Okay, show me. Right up here. Feel those two pointy things? Those are pin bones. The wider they are and deeper they are right there, it's going to be more mature for their egg laying. Okay. This pen is just a little off balance, immature for today. I'm going to give them a red on these. I'd seriously consider, if you feel like it, writing a letter to Hoover's and say, the judge said that we're supposed to have better, and then they might say, oh no, that judge don't know what he's talking about, blah blah blah, and we'll find out after the fact. Okay, so here's them. Oh no, stop that. Okay, so okay, so we'll put them in. Now, do the same thing. No. Put your hands around that one, just to feel that one. Okay, now do the middle one. Now do this one. Which is the biggest? Or are they all about the same? They're all about the same. Okay, so there's one. There's the one who wants to escape. And there's this one. They are all pretty close. What kind are these? Buff Orpingtons. And you got them when? Uh-huh. What color eggs? Ah! What color eggs do they? Oh, this is real nice. Good. Just stand there. Come back here. How many more you got at home?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Why did these and the quite a few, why did these come today and the quite a few stay home? Better feathers, okay. Now being a year old, they're going to probably pick on each other and get beat up and so on, but these are pretty good. The primary and secondary feathers on their wings are all good and uniform. Okay. Their coloring is fairly close. The maturity in all three of them is close. The only thing, oh, you would have to do that. Alright, we can get her back up here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if you look at these, tails are all fairly about the same. She's got a lot longer, mature tail than these two. She's got some white flecking coming in the, see that difference between them? Okay. I still want to leave these in the blue category. Just a couple of tweaking things to make them a little more uniform. All right. All right. So go ahead and go wherever. Holy smokes. What is this? It don't have no feathers. It's all like silky stuff. What is it? Oh, maybe that's why it got its name, huh? Look what happened to its feathers. My goodness. You must really like they must like not like each other. Oh, they're young. Yep. I almost thought they were all banged up in your cage, but they're supposed to be that way, aren't they? Yep. Okay, so nice top hat. Same colored eyes, good. Okay, how come I've got 2 toes here, I've got 5 toes here and 4 toes here? Yeah. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, it's not so good. Okay, coloring, maturity. I think I gotta think about that one. Okay, go ahead and put her back. Is that the only one in that one, or is that one in the same? They're individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, good. So, is there? You got more? Or this?
One more.
Okie dokie.
These are just males.
Okay.
And then there's 3 females.
Missing a toenail. See that? So how old is this one? It's okay. So he's missing a toenail. Okay, so we got enough toes this time, but we're missing a toenail on that one. Okay, so you can put that one back. And alright. Good. I like this one. You know, he's not quite as mature yet, so he's still got a little, if you will, unpredictable set to his feathers. He's not quite his silkiness isn't quite uniform across the top, but it's not a bad thing. It's just a he'll get to it thing. Does that make sense? Okay. So so I got that one yet too.
No, that's a female.
That's the female. I got.
So there's that female, and that female. Those 2 you already did. Those are the males.
Males and this one. So you had 3 males and 3 females, but I still have 2 females to look at.
3 females.
So 3
Three.
females.
Oh, okay. I need 2 reds and 1 blue on her males. This is the blue. We need to have all our toenails, and we're missing a toe on one of them. Does this go in here, or okay? Now we're on to the females, yes? And I'm just looking. Nice. Oh. No, I'm not doing nothing. Good. I think we're coming. I'm not going to discount this one. See this one right here? Just coming through. I'm just going to pretend that one's on that side too. Okay? We're still a little young because we can kind of not, you know, we can see more than just white. You know, we're not quite full growth in here. I like her top, her eyes, same color, nice and clean. Feathers are fairly uniform. I'll give blue on this female. His Yeah, we can, or something. You get one? All right. Thank you. I'll give her right back. I'll be right with you. Okay, so this one here is another, not quite as mature as our pearl that we had. Has all her toes. We're just a little young on this one yet. I mean, she's not bad. Her feathers just haven't caught up to her size. I like her alertness. She's got same color eyes. Her top is balanced. She's just, you can see right here, she's not quite totally growing out enough to molt in. So, you get it all wiped in? You just let me know. Are you ready? Almost. That's fine. I can wait. Are you ready? All right. Here you go. Got her? Excellent. Okay, now this one's a little bit more mature, even though they might be the same age. Okay. Now wait a minute. How can they be the same age and be mature or not mature? It's just, yeah, it's just the way they grow. And then you get into some of your color differences, and then sometimes the your coloring over the wings is going to show off more. You know, some colors set off a little bit easier than other colors. I like the tail. I like the feathering over the saddle. The primary, secondary. The secondaries, yeah, we've got a little tough battle going on in there. Not quite totally mature. Okay, good. Okay, so, all right. Now the biggest. I wouldn't call it a problem. The biggest discrepancy I have on your females is that they're just not quite mature in their feathering, which kind of discounts them a little bit on you, Will. The quality, I think, is great. They just kind of get taken down a notch when we're trying to look at, you know, if this was growing out more, she'd look a whole lot different than she does. But all three females are blues. We just need to grow a little bit more to compete against some of the other females that I've seen so far. Okay, now is that it?
I think 2 large hens.
2 large hens. Okay.
One of
Two of these. What's the other one? Just in there for decoration? Or is she a pen of 3 or?
that was
Was in the pantry.
Okay. So am I looking all 3 or just 2?
just 2.
Okay. Good. Okay, you get that one. So are they the same breed? So if they're the same breed, why don't they look the same? Ah, you can't use I don't know. I told you can't use I don't know. Could be. See, look at the tail feather in that one. Look at the tail in that one. Okay. What kind are they? So they should look more like this one here than this one here. Okay, right? Why? Okay, and if they're buffs, we want to have this, not this, right? Why? They're more in the buffing, right? This is the buffing, not this. Okay? Does that make this one bad? There you go. It's not it. She is a little bit larger, a little bit more mature in her overall size and scale, but she's a little more true to form, if you will, or true to breed, I should say. I like the maturity of this one, even though the coloring, I'd like to tweak it a little bit more. On this one, I'd like to give her a little more tail. I mean, look at that. I think she was running away from somebody who caught up to her. Cause you look at that, she's got a few tail feathers snipped off. I'm going to give both of these blues. I like this one better than this one, as to being true to form for the breed that you said. I really like her body capacity and maturity. That's why I'm going to leave her in the blue ribbon. All right? Do I have others, or is that it?
I think that's it.
That is it? Okay, good. There you go. Do you have any questions? Nope. Okay. All right. So, let's move on to. Yes, please. All right. Thanks for reminding me. All right, duck. You don't look so enthused when I said duck. So there's no ducks? Oh, good. I was hoping you were going to agree with me, and then we both had problems there. But. So what we got? Rhode Island Reds. How old are they?
They were born on February 26th of 2018.
Really? So you got some unique birds down here that get born. Yes. Okay. So, how many more you guys home?
And these are all.
These are it? You got lucky. You had to pick out three. No, stop. No. You're supposed to pick out three. And you got three pretty good ones. Whoa. Yeah, you did. Now, you got a little bit of color difference here. Which color should they be?
Brownish.
Which one should they look like? Which one looks the closest to what they should be like? Yes, good answer. What's wrong with this one?
She got a bit different coloring.
And what could be an answer of why she looks like this versus this?
Because of her colors less thickly and the other one was a different coloring.
Okay, that could be it. It could also be, agree or disagree with me, it could also be maybe she got a little bit more sun than this one did. And her pigment, even though they're reds, her pigmentation may not be as deep in her as this one. So then when we're out in the sun, she tended to fade a little bit more than this one. For example, do you think each one of us suntan the same? No, because why? Our skins are a little bit different, even though we all have white skin, right? I mean, in theory, white skin. I'm just kind of ugly, but you know, most of you guys, you're white skinned, and so you're going to tan or burn depends on how much sun you get in, right?
Yeah.
What color eggs did they have?
Brown.
And what is their intention or purpose? Are they a egg producer, meat producer, or both?
Egg producer.
Okay, be sure.
Yeah.
Do you think they're egg producer, meat producer, or both?
Maybe not.
Yeah, good answer. I'm glad you came up with that answer. I never would have guessed myself. But Rhode Island Reds are one of our older dual-purpose breeds. Most intentions was as a farm brown egg layer. Now they've gotten more popularity because some individuals feel that brown eggshell chicken eggs are better for you than white shell. Question for you. If I took these Rhode Island Reds and I took those California whites over there and I fed them the same food. These lay brown shells, they lay white shells. Which ones would have the better eggs? Trick question. I fed them the same feed.
These ones.
Why?
Because theirs might be a different feed which is good for their eggs.
But I'm gonna feed them the same feed. I got them in side by side. I've got your reds, I got those whites, and 2 pens side by side, and I feed them both the same feed. The same feed. The same feed. Which one's gonna be better?
You have a building like that, but it's 3 stories and a lot bigger. The whole
What's the answer?
They're the same.
Yes, they would be the same. Nutritionally, there would be nothing different if they are fed the same feed. The problem that people come into is they think the brown shells are better for them because they're like the olden days, that they were more nutritious, but basically, if they're fed the same, they have the same nutritional value. If I had a magic wand and I could change something about these hens besides the coloring on this one here, what would you change? Nothing? What about the earlobes? Earlobes. Right here. Are they supposed to have that white flecking? Or is that showing a little bit of their age? Yeah. Okay. If these are pullets, I would say that would be a major But because they're year plus, I would say, yeah, that's something I'd like to change, but something that I could also live with. Okay? This is going to be a blue. I would like to change her coloring a little bit, but the maturity in all 3 of these are about like peas in a pod. Do you have any questions? Nope, no question. Are you sure? I harassed you enough. You should at least have a question or 2. No? Okay, fine. I'll let you go. All right.
And then is he doing one of them as a single? Yeah.
Which one? This one is the single?
Yeah.
This one is the single?
No, this one.
This one is the single? This one is the single? The reason I said this one is because between the 3 of them, give me your hand. You play football?
No.
Good. I'm going to hike you a chicken. Okay? So you're going to catch it like this. Alright? I'm going to hike you the chicken. I want you to put your fingers together underneath the chicken. So you're going to cup it like this. So you're going to cup it like this and bring your thumbs across the top. Okay? So you're seeing how large a body capacity. Another thing that we're looking for in egg layers is we're looking from the front of this keel to the back of the keel. Sometimes called the breastbone. Okay? So we want this breastbone or this keel bone as long as possible. We want them as large and deep as possible, and that also carries through in that width when we're feeling across here. Then we're also looking at the maturity in the pin bones. You know where the pin bones are? Sure I do, Judge. They're right here. So you feel those 2 little sharp bumps right there? That's a bone, that's a bone. The wider they are and the deeper that we have in our cavity right there, that is an indicator of her maturity towards egg laying. This one is really good of the 3. Now, I'm not saying the other 2 are bad. I'm just saying this one's a really good one. Okay? Any questions? Easy blue. Easy blue and an X on the card, please. So, she can go. Do you have any questions? No. Thank you, sir. You betcha. All right. Now, do one after this.
These are our last ones. 2 there.
2 kids here?
2 kids.
Excellent. All right. Okay, what we got? And this is in the individual male, right? Okay. How old?
Or hatched on February 19th.
good mature primary feathers, really good secondary. What's this feather in between?
The axle.
Which ones are the flight feathers? How many should he have?
Probably like 10, 6, 12. 12, 2. Wait, what?
I just asked how many flag feathers should he have. Is that your final answer?
No.
No? Okay. Should he have an even number or an odd number?
Even.
Why?
So it's the same on the same on all sides.
There you go. So does it matter if he's got 2 or 4 or 6 or
No.
8? There you go. Why would he have 2 versus 6 or 8 or whatever? How old did you say he was?
He's like 5 months old.
Okay. Is he going to have only 2 when he's a year and a half, 2 years old? At least we hope he doesn't. But, you know, it depends. If he gets into a fight or
Yeah,
something like
he'll
that,
probably
yeah, do something. But these right here are going to also grow. Now, he's not going to have a whole family, but he's going to have, generally, more as he goes, very good quality toes. What color toe should he have?
Black. A second ago.
How come there's white stripes on the top of that toenail?
Because he wants it to be there.
Well, that's a,
And because that's just how it works out.
yeah, kind of, yeah, sort of. That plus how old is he?
Very young.
There you go. Is that a critical factor? To me, no. To me, no. Now, if this was Snow White, I'd say you have a problem. But right now, no. Toenails are good. He's great. He's got a few feathers that are coming and feel just not quite up yet. But again,
Very young.
5 years, yes, younger. Okay. I'd like to make his comb just a little more balanced. I'd like to have five uniform spikes.
Yeah. He's
Not-
bigger.
yeah,
And
huh.
those two are the same.
Exactly. So, but that's nitpicky. You know. Other than that, overall balance is very good. So I want to go a blue with an X on this one. What's next?
That one.
Great. What's this one? A what?
Sam Favreau.
Is he in the fight?
Probably.
Man.
He's the big guy.
Oh, so he's the hot top dog, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just because you're top dog doesn't mean you've got very good feathers, because you don't. Yeah, I know. Keepers. Show off, show off, show off. Okay. So.
Decent toenail.
Yeah, well, actually,
Kinda.
yeah, kind of, sort of. He's broke, but he's not. He's not gone. That's what I'm checking. Is like, broke isn't great, but it's better than missing. And it's there. It's just not there. Okay. He's got some busted tail feathers. He's just kind of been through the war, and he's not looking too bad. He's just not looking great.
Yeah.
And again, like to balance off. What type of comb does he have?
Single.
Single. Okay, so another blue. Does this go here
Yeah.
or wherever? Got this one? All right. Next,
Kind of
or
a
not,
medium.
or whatever.
Hands.
I don't care. Whichever.
Volunteering.
5 months?
Yep.
What's off?
He's like
A little bit there. What about the top? We're getting
Yeah,
there.
they're
We're,
little.
Uh-huh, right,
Very
right. They're there. They're not missing. They're just not
on it.
there.
Yeah.
There. We're working on it. We're kind of like 2/3 of the way to the finish line. We're just not there yet. I really like the color balance. I mean, if you look at your wings,
Yeah,
you are
same.
yes, and you want that. Okay, the modeling across the top, the tail set is uniform. I just wish our top was a little bit more grown up. We have a blue on this one. I would just like to make it a little bit more mature and uniform on both sides. There you go. So are you a senior or graduate?
I'm a junior.
Junior, and you go to St. Ansgar.
Yeah.
So you're in all Mr. Green's egg classes, right?
Mhm.
And you're on his poultry team, right?
No.
What? Oh, such disappointment. I am going to have to just give him heck. All right, so what do we got here?
I was going to be this year,
Well,
but then we couldn't.
true. Maybe next year. Maybe this sort of next year, depends on whatever. Okay, what do we got here?
That's the salmon fat roll.
Okay, what color variety?
Egg size? Wait, color variety.
Yeah.
Light.
Is there any other colors for this tree?
Brown.
Okay. So is it an egg or a fancy?
It's a fancy.
Oh, bruising on her pad. Got herself cut on something. Yeah. Okay. I like to balance her comb a little bit. Her cheeks are good. Her mouth coloring over her top. Her primary and secondaries are good. Got a couple of busted tips on the ends. Looks like she kind of, ooh. She was a loser somewhere, but
Yeah, feed a bunch of them do that.
but they are growing back. So I mean, it's not like they're totally gone. They're just not there. So we've got another blue. Just like to take her away from the war before it gets here. Okay.
Well, some.
No. You're just supposed to stand there. Not show her off. What? Can you stand? Stand up. She's got a blue and an X on the card, please. All right. Yeah, there's one miss, yeah. Okay, whichever. So as long as we get to them all, that's fine with me. Alright, so, how old is this one?
Same age. 5 months.
How come the feathers are all different colors?
I don't know.
What breed is it?
Sussex, speckled Sussex.
And so,
It's gonna be different.
yeah, good answer. Alright. Even growth, no busted feathers. Uniform
Yeah,
primary,
is it like
secondary.
No, I'm just gonna walk on
I could
because my
change the
husband
comb a
is
little bit.
Combs were rough this
Okay.
year
Yeah.
for some reason.
Sounds good. You gonna leave your hand,
You're
hand
not the
sanitizer
only
here?
county I've been
Okay,
to that
thank you so much
it
for your
just
help.
looks like somebody got into a war or something, you know. Really good maturity on this one. We have a blue with an X on this one. I really like for the only thing I'd like to tweak her comb a little bit, but that's the way it goes. Alright, what else?
Then we have this kind of three.
Excellent. Rhode Island Red, right? No. What breed?
White leghorns. Pearl leghorns, however you want to say it.
No, well, there is a big difference.
I'm gonna go white.
There you go. The difference between these white leghorns and California whites.
Hmm?
What's the difference between these white leghorns and California whites?
How much they weigh?
Yeah, that's one thing.
They're bigger.
Yeah, they are. These tend to be more on the production side of things. How many more you got at home? Holy smokes.
We have like 30 pullets to choose from.
And these are how old?
5 months.
Yeah. So they're laying all kinds of brown eggs for you, right?
Oh yeah. White.
Oh shucks. Which one's your best hen?
Probably these two. That one.
Okay. Which one's not as good?
Probably this one.
Mm-hmm. And now, I say that tongue in cheek. Maturity-wise, all three of these are fairly uniform. This one's just a little bit smaller in her body capacity. That is going to affect her egg production down the road. If they're all the same age, that just basically means that she's going to be a lower producer versus these two here. She's not a bad hen, she's just a little behind these. These two, that one, I like that one. These two are pretty close.
That one was the one that was the only one left because she had the matching comb.
Ah.
The other ones had this one, but they matched here, but the comb matched.
I wanna, we'll put a blue and an X on, or I mean a blue ribbon with an X on this card. Sorry, just keep going, there's another way. And there you go. Any more?
Now it's him.
Now it's him's turn. Okay, him, come on over. What we got, him?
Yeah, that's and here's three.
All right, so go ahead and give me the speckle. How old is this one?
5 months. Hatched on February 19th.
What color eggs is she gonna lay?
Brown.
Okay. I like to have 5 uniform spikes on this one. She's not bad. Just like to change that. Really good Nope. Really good maturity. Good toes. The modeling coloring is pretty good. Fairly uniform throughout. Nice female. Okay, we're gonna give this one a blue and an X. Now we have a pen of 3. Okay. Alright. many of these you get at home?
Not a lot, maybe 15, I guess.
Okay, come around this side. Bring the other one with you. Okay. I'm gonna hike it to you. Got a hold of it? Take that one. Which one's the most mature of these three hens? If you can figure it out without touching them, you're better than I am. You have to handle them. So which one's the best of these three?
This one,
You sure?
I'm sure.
Why?
Because he seems more calm. This one's wings and a bit more spread out.
So he is better.
Yeah.
So he is better than these she's. He is better than these sheep. There you go. Okay, now put your hand. I'm going to hike it to you. I want you to feel the body size of that one. So feel, put your hand around it and feel that one. All right? Now, same. Which is bigger? Now, handle that one same way.
This one's probably.
Yes. Those two are pretty close. This one's a lot larger in body size and capacity as you feel around her, right? Even though her coloring is not quite as uniform, why do you think she has a little bit lighter modeling than we've got in these two here? They're the same age. You're feeding them the same thing. Could it be the pigmentation in the feathers? Are they inside or outside chickens?
They're outside. They're inside.
Okay, so do they have a window? Or do you have artificial light?
We have light.
Okay, so do you think these two have fairly similar pigmentation and this one has a little bit lighter? They all started out as yellow chicks, right? Then how come they didn't all grow the same? No, you can't say I don't know. That's not an answer. I already told them back there they couldn't use it, so you can't use it either. You think the coloring in the feathers is the same in this one as to this one? Not really. Okay, so we've got that difference in there, right? This is a blue. Your maturity is pretty close in these, and this one's just a little bit more. So she kind of actually improves your pen of 3, but then her coloring is a little bit different than the other two. So when we're trying to match them in, she actually kind of pulls you down a little bit. She doesn't quite balance it out, but she's got a plus and it's got a little bit of a minus. Okay, but still a good blue pen. So we're gonna put them in there. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. You all right? Did you get it there? Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No.
Oh, that's the fun part. Okay. Is there showmanship? You said?
There will be for different age brackets.
Okay. So we can while we're doing that, if you wanted to just go back to the kids and tell them they can pick out one or whoever